What's going on, guys? Tyler here, T-Rod Outdoors, and the boat finally came. So I got a Bass Tracker Pro 170 2023. I got a 50 horsepower Mercury on the back. I upgraded from the 40 horse to the 50 horse. I've already done a couple upgrades to this boat, and I've rigged it down the way I'm gonna like to fish largemouth and smallmouth bass here in Maryland on the rivers and some of the reservoirs. So without further ado, I'll give you a tour. I guess first we'll start with the outside, some of the stuff around along the outside of the boat. So let's get started. Alright, so back here in the back of the boat, like I said previously, I upgraded, got the 50 horsepower motor over the 40 horsepower motor, just to, I think it was only a difference of like $500, and when you're talking about financing $500 over 12 years, you're not going to notice that on your payments, on your monthly payments. So it was a no-brainer for me to upgrade to the 50 horse, get a little top more speed. I'm still on the break-in period. They claim it'll go about 40 miles an hour loaded down with tackle, but I haven't been able to open it up just yet because I'm still on the break-in period. So it'll be about 10 hours of break-in period. I think I've done about 6.5, 7 of them so far. So not too bad, only 3 more hours to go, 3.5, and then I'll be able to open her up and really get a top speed test for you. One other thing here in the back of the boat, right down here, I installed the boat buckles. Actually, I'm gonna have a video on this. I had to flip them backwards because of the way these trailer tabs are back here. There wasn't enough space, but it's still the same thing. Hit the button, they release, they retract right back into themselves when you're off the water. Just hook it up and give it a couple cranks. And it's not going anywhere. These are a lot more efficient when you're trying to be quick, so you're not holding up the next guy in line, and I think they look a lot better than the stock ones that came with it and are a ton easier to use. So that's all for the back of the boat. Like I said, nothing else all around the outside of the boat. Everything else is stock. So I guess we'll jump up in the boat and I'll show you everything loaded down. I decided to rig it out. Let's do it. Alright, so we'll start on the front deck of the boat. I got plenty of space up here. I could almost lay completely across the front deck. Plenty of space for just me, even me, and a co-angler out here fishing. I upgraded. I just installed the Garmin Clearview. I got the 5-inch. I think down the road I'll upgrade to a 7-inch for the bow mount up here. I stuck with the Minn Kota Edge 45-pound thrust trolling motor. I've heard a lot of things, people saying that it doesn't move the boat very well into the water, but I've had no problem with it. I've probably been out 6 or 7 times now. I think it's now time to charge the battery. So I've had no issues with it. Up here we got storage, and I'll give you a closer look at this in a minute. And then here we have a live well system. Then over here we got a rod locker. Now it says you can get 8 rods in there. I have 8 in there. I'm gonna say you can get 16 in there, but I don't need 16 rods when I fish. I like the 8 that I have in here. Every one has a purpose for me. I'm not a professional fisherman. I don't need 30 rods in my boat. 8 is plenty for me. So with that being said, I'll give you guys a closer look up at the front, and then we'll move to the middle portion of the boat. Alright, so here's that Garmin 5-inch unit with Clearview. Very user-friendly. It was easy to install. I just had to remove this panel up here and then bolted it right down, and it's easy to use. Just go over to Clearview, hit the check mark. Obviously it's not going to work right now because we're not out on the water. The transducer that is attached to the trolling motor is not in the water, so it's not going to show anything, but it's a crystal clear image. Even with the 5-inch screen, I can see it perfectly fine, so I'm fine with it. Then just power it off. It's as easy as that. I did install some rod strap tie downs. I just installed those. I'll have a video on those. Probably the easiest and cheapest install you can do to a bass boat. I think these are $10 a piece, so $20 for one on both sides, and that's easy. Also, I ordered a Googan Bait sticker. If you've been following the channel, you know I love Googan Squad and Googan Baits. I have a whole wall dedicated to them with baits in my garage, so put a Googan Bait sticker here. I'm thinking about getting one right over here just to really even it out so it looks even. And then I also got a Tracker Boat, since this is a Tracker Boat sticker. And here's, I just use it as storage. I have all life jackets in there and some rope, even some tubing rope for when we want to use this boat to tube. And then in here, I got my pedestal, seat mounts, and then my dog's life jacket, because sometimes he likes to go fishing with me. I don't have anything in the storage compartment under here just yet, but I think that's where my anchor is going to go when I get it. This is the locking rod locker. Like I said, I have 8 of them in there, plus my YOLOTech, and I could easily get 8 more in there if I really wanted to. But like I said, 8 is fine, it works for me, it's perfect. And it locks, so that's nice. I don't have to worry about my rods getting stolen when I leave the boat sitting out of the garage for the night. Moving down to the center console of the boat. I'm about 6 feet tall. This is plenty of space for me in the captain's chair right here. Plenty of seat for a co-captain over here. And then there's even seat for a child or a small adult right here in the middle. This boat is 4 persons maximum capacity, or 555 pounds, so I'll probably only have 3 on at a time, just because this is more or less a fishing boat. So if you get 4 people in here fishing, it's kind of tight. I've done 3, and 3 seem to be the sweet spot. If everybody's standing on one side, you can feel it start to dip down, so I feel like 4 would be too much. So there's more or less nothing here. I'll give you guys a quick show of the dash before we move to the back of the boat, where there's the battery compartment and then tackle storage, which has a ton of tackle in it for this small boat. So I'll give you guys a quick look up here, and then we'll move on to the back. Alright, dash is pretty simple. You got your RPMs, rates per minute, how fast the engine's working. Got your fuel gauge, which is very nice that this one comes with a fuel gauge. The Bass Tracker Classic, which is the step down from this one, does not have fuel gauge, and it also does not have a internal fuel tank, which is one of the main reasons I upgraded to this one as opposed to going to that one. Then you have your mile per hour. This says up to 65, but it's really 30 to 40, somewhere in there, depending on how much tackle you have and how much weight you have on board. And over here you have your nav light, your anchor light, your aerator, and your bilge, and then your horn. Everything works good. And then down over here, it actually came standard with a Lowrance Hook 5, and then it's a 4X. This will be upgraded in the future over in here. It does the job. It does well for telling the depth and stuff, but I'd like about a 10 or 11 inch screen over here mounted in the future. But it is nice that it came set with this one, so I only had to buy the one for the front. And then down here you got your up and down for your motor, and then you got forward, neutral, reverse, as well as your kill switch, which the lanyard is attached to my life jacket. So that is about it when it comes to the center console. Also in the middle part of the boat, under the seats is storage. It's where I keep all the paperwork to the boat, and then my life vests and all the safety equipment besides life jackets. Like I have my flares and my air horn per Maryland requirements, and I also have my boat paddle down there. So that's nice that there's more storage under that seat. So I guess next comes the back casting deck, where your co-angler can cast from. Back in here is a battery compartment, and you got 2 batteries, one for, let me get you guys. You got 2 batteries, one for your trolling motor, and then one for the big engine and your fish finders, and then this that in-gallon gas tank. It's 12-gallon gas tank interior, so that's really nice. The gas cap is right over there, very easy to fill. And then down in here is where I keep all the tackle, plus the boat plug. You can see it over here, the spare boat plug that I have. So these are 3600 size boxes, so make sure you guys can see. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 3600 boxes, and that's just all laid down. You could obviously stack more on top if you wanted to, but this I found is a great setup. It doesn't move around when you're driving. You can barely notice it's in there. So I got all my Bandito bugs, some swim baits. These are nuke punches, haven't got a label for those yet. Senkos, creatures, square bills, trick worms, jig trailers, Kraken crawls, terminal tackle, lipless jerk baits, walking style baits, crankbaits, swim jigs, bitsy jigs, chatterbaits, frogs, buzz baits, hard swim baits, spinner baits, and poppers. So I got a ton in there. It's basically everything I'm ever gonna need out on the water I have in this boat, which is what I love about it. No more dealing with pond hopping and trying to load all this tackle into a book bag. So that's about everything in this boat on the back. And then also over here you have your anchor light for anchoring at night when it's early morning or late at night. You need that after sunset. It also came with 2 chairs with the pedestal mounts that go right here, and one goes on the front deck, but I don't really like to use those. Sometimes I'll bring one just in case I get tired of standing and want to sit and use the trolling motor, or my co-angler wants to use the trolling motor, which most of the time my co-angler is my wife, so she likes to sit and sometimes stand, so it's nice to have the option to bring it with us. Okay guys, well that's everything I got for you today. Really appreciate you guys clicking on the video. Do me a favor, click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's take this channel off. Let's do it. I got a video coming out on the boat buckles, like I said, and one coming out for the rod strap tie downs, which is probably the easiest and cheapest install you can ever do to a bass boat. So let's do it. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.